When I was a little boy, I was reared with an awesome sense of the world. And I was about turning 5 years old. I remember the hail in the yard. I remember the house. I remember the radio in the car, listening to it. I remember how scared I was at kindergarten because I wasn't prepared for it at all. And the kids were running and screaming and pulling in different directions. And they seemed to know what they were doing and everything that was going on. And I was like, what the heck is this? Felt like an alien. But more than anything, I remember that the world was not making sense to me, that what these adults were doing wasn't adding up. I mean, they were making claims that weren't true. And I, in my innocence, was seeing right through those at the time. And of course, when you're young and innocent and you got no filter, you verbalize it, you vocalize it, which causes trouble. I hope I haven't caused too much trouble with my videos and with my utterances. And believe me, a lot of what I said I'd like to be able to take back or change my mind on or reframe it. But here's the problem. The world is so corrupt right now that a lot of us are saying, go ahead, nuke it, drop the bomb, let's get this over with, because we're tired of it. And the sad thing is that can happen. It's actually written into the script, into the Bible. Can we not rise up? Can we not realize that things don't make sense? Can we not recognize that it's not adding up? Can we not be honest with ourselves, with each other? I guess we dare not be transparent. We have to keep lying, thieving, conniving, deceiving. And it's sad. It's really sad. I think that I've come through my life pretty much accomplishing what I needed to accomplish. I needed to make sense out of the adult world, which was crazy to me. And I learned a lot. Don't think I learned enough. But we are at the crossroads. We are on the verge of destroying ourselves, each other and ourselves, and the rest of the other species. And we're on the verge of destroying the Earth's ability to support life. And so when I tell you that the Earth groans for her saviors, that's what I pull when I read the Bible. I pull that from the old original King James English. The earth groans for her saviors, plural. And these techniques and strategies for ruling the masses have been the same from way before Roman times. And we're all manipulated. We're all conned all the time, and we love our slavery. We love our chains. Why? You're a great American. The guy who said that all the time was a traitor. Yeah, he was. None of the media can be trusted. It's all owned. Just like the politicians, it's all owned. Just like you and I, we are owned from different perspectives. And some of those are the same perspectives. There are very few of us are controllers and at the very top. And those at the very top are most definitely the enemies of the rest of us. And the nice thing is, if you stay still long enough, you pray enough, if you meditate enough, if you delay gratification enough and wait upon the Lord and cultivate the Holy Spirit, bit by bit, you'll conceive of it. You will give birth to it in your mind. You will realize what the truth is and what's been going on. And the con job is very great. It's very strong. America is a con job at this point. We have not existed as America, and I can give you dates for that, and I can tell you how to get the way back, I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think we unite around the Ten Commandments worldwide. We have to have those standards that we agree to abide by. And I think that as far as our people in our nation, we have to agree to return to the structure, the foundation that our founders gave us. And I know everybody says, well, that'll never happen. It's impossible. It can't happen. Well, it has to happen because it is about the only thing we can unify around. All these other ideas. I get a call from Lyndon LaRouche Association. They're pressuring me to pay for their publications every month. I don't even want to take the time to read their publications, much less pay them, even if it's at half price. I don't want it for free either. Sorry, it's just another brand of communism from what I see. My dad fell for it, and I realized that the Bushes felt so threatened by him that they went out, they set the government up to frame him up on false charges. But he was just like the others. He was a name changer. He was also a Jewish gentleman from New Hampshire. He was extremely intelligent, but he kept wanting to give us credits instead of money. He wanted us to have credits for currency, and he wanted us to spend huge amounts of money on wasteful projects that really were boondoggles. Right now they're pushing for a tunnel from Alaska to Russia. I sometimes don't think common sense enough. Thank God my housemate does. Tells me it's not going to happen. Here's why, and it's worthless. Well, back when Lyndon LaRouche was alive and Helga, I think his widow, who took over from him, their thing was they wanted to build a railroad. That's right, a railroad over the water between Russia and Alaska. That'll open up commerce. That'll do this. That'll do that. Look, it's going to further enslave humanity. That's all there is to it. So I do not really want to bother with the EIR, that association, Intelligence Association anymore. Yes, they had a perspective that had a little tiny bit of validity to it. But I'm not going with that. We have to go with what our founders gave us. And we have to give that gift to the world. If we aren't willing to restore the rule of law here and the structure our founders gave us, then we might as well be destroyed because we're going to be absolutely worthless. We're going to be useless to ourselves and to those outside of our borders. Dangerous, as a matter of fact. Because our nation is playing into the same con game that's going around the whole planet. I just finished recording an hour-long video, a wake-up call, and on the movie, the documentary, JFK to 9/11, everything is a rich man's trick. It's been out for 4 years, and I finally saw it. Man, am I retarded. Am I late to the game? Well, don't you be late to the game. You need to pull this up all 3.5 hours and watch it. And don't worry about the world and what's going on in it too much while you watch it. The world is worse than I ever could imagine it. It is definitely owned by the devil and the devil's children. We've been given a map to it. We've been given a magnificent library describing these things. And I'm not saying it's a pristine library. It's been through thick and thin, yet a core part of it manages to get through to us. And I truly believe that this idea that salvation is next life, future, is not accurate. I think salvation is in the present. Because if we do not get it straight right in the here and now, I believe that in the second judgment, we are dissembled. We are taken apart. I also believe, by the way, that this idea of earning immortality, I think it's kind of the other way around. And what I mean by that is that we are immortals. It's inherent in our nature. But a lot of us make the wrong decisions, and we are going to be thrown into the lake of fire. We're going to be dissembled. Now, believe me, the visions and everything that I had were far and wide, and I can't help but wonder, did anybody else have the same thing I had? Was anybody else experiencing those? Well, I didn't write them down. They were off the charts, and my mentor told me to forget about those things. Those are best forgotten, which was good advice at the time. It gave me some relief at the time because I was overwhelmed by them. And I continue to get overwhelmed by things, even to this day. But that's in my own soul, my own being. This video, JFK to 9/11, everything is a rich man's trick. It's an eye-opener. And you can't put that genie back in the bottle. And the crazy thing is that some of these most evil men that actually took on the mantle of the devil, and the devil's children, actually tell you the truth. Isn't that ironic? And so we go through our lives catching glimpses and trying to assemble a puzzle, pattern recognition, and understand where we are. I need you to understand that we're not in a very good place, but we sit on the edge of the precipice. I think things can get better from here. Now, this is the Ides of August, 2025. Trump and Putin will meet today. Hopefully nobody dies today. I'm worried for both men. And but everything is a rich man's trick. These are rich men. They work on the behalf of rich men behind them and women. And they do what they're told. They're all scripted. It is the greatest show on earth. And their purpose is to be entertaining, to be mesmerizing and entertaining. So that we think this is the reality. This is all there is. There's nothing we can do about it. This is just the way it is. It's always going to be this way. You and I can't do anything. Well, I disagree. I have hope. I have hope that somebody's going to see this short video and go watch my other larger video today of a wake-up call. Whose wake-up call is it? Well, It's my wake-up call. I hope it becomes your wake-up call too. I hope that you will overcome the traps that they have laid across the ages for us to fall into. I hope you will understand this is a system that's been honed over time. And I hope you will understand and read the Bible, and you will see that Yahweh says, I will make your wise men bumbling idiots, basically. In other words, he was going to confuse the wise men. And that's what we have today. We have a lot of confusion, and the truth is bleeding through. The infection is great, and bleeding is a purification, and we need to wash those wounds out with our blood, our life's blood. So I want to know, do you want to see life on earth continue? What would you do differently if you had to do it over again? What if I told you you get to do it over today? Can you do it differently? Will you do it differently? Or will you try and succeed, or try, fail? I don't know. I just know that the people with tenacity usually pull through. And that's one of the things my mother said I had a lot of tenacity. Yeah. When I got older, my parents came together because we thought I had a diagnosis that was leading to death. I'll be doggone. Water coming through the vent. Not a good thing. The guy who did the roof was an amateur. He pretended he defrauded me, claiming he knew what he was doing, and the roof is worse afterwards than it was before. Anyway, when I was facing this horrible diagnosis, and my parents thought they were losing me, they gathered around me, the two of them, and were heaping accolades upon me. I was most uncomfortable because they had never heaped accolades on me like that before. I wasn't used to it. And my mother said, we tried to help you when we were young, but we didn't know what to do. And I actually demonstrated some tact, and I bit my tongue. I did not tell my mother what was on my mind, which was, didn't you ever think you might have been the problem? That's what came to mind. Now, that thought was not generated in anger. So might that not be from the Holy Spirit? And might not my inhibition stopping me from saying this to my mother, might that also be from the Holy Spirit? Are we really separated from God? I've had a view that's been somewhat universal. I don't want to say pantheistic, because everything is God, but I think that we're all connected. And I think that's why we have some amazing insights, because we think these things across the planet. And I think we have instant impact with the Creator, just like He has instant impact with us. He's the source, and we're all tied together. So I remain hopeful. But I do not like this constant dripping on me. I shut the air conditioner off, and I think that it was frozen up there. It's been frozen for a while, and it's de-icing and coming through, which I do not like. I'm going to keep it off for a bit longer, give everything a break. It looks like it's going to continue a little bit more rain and probably stop at sunrise, which is about 2 hours away. May Yahweh bless you. I thank you so much for joining me and going down my path with me, being with me. I guess I've caused too much trouble by being too truthful. People don't like it when somebody else is right and they're not. And I didn't even get heard fully most of the time. People just have to immediately cut you off. I don't know that I was trying to dominate, but I was just trying to make clear, concise statements. And at this point in time, I can tell you that I feel like I've been gifted some things, but it's also tremendous weight. I look at what's going on, and I'm just hoping that you will have a better day than you had yesterday. I'm hoping that you will get some healing, get some energy, and that you might talk to people around you and let them know that the system that we have conjured up or allowed them to foist upon us is definitely the devil and the devil's children. They own and run this planet. Now, can we forgive them and move on? I don't think so, because they will not recognize the wrong that they have done, and they won't stop. They won't cease. They won't refrain from it. So do stand up today for truth and justice. And let's see if we can make it the American way. Let's agree to cut this massive government down and return to the original structure without the corporations that our forefathers gave us. Let's agree to go back to honest money. And let's be grateful for the fact that we have an opportunity today. Be grateful.